Hi, welcome back. Today's video is about communication barriers. Communication barriers are things that block communication with each other. If not managed correctly, it can be very, very bad.
Communication barriers can lead to things not happening, like if someone's brother could make a very important FCLA meeting because he didn't even hear the schedule.
She's definitely speaking from experience. Someone's brother probably did that.
That's just a small example of a communication barrier.
Anyways, there are a few different kinds of communication barriers, such as physical, emotional, language, gender, cultural, and interpersonal barriers.
These can all be good or bad. The first one we will talk about is physical communication barriers. Physical communication barriers can be actions. That can be things such as closing a door or avoiding a certain person. These behaviors show no communication skills at all whatsoever because there's no talking back and forth, no discussion. When you create distance or build a wall, you're not communicating with someone. You are creating a barrier.
Another kind of communication barrier is the emotional barrier, and that can be positive or it can be negative. It's just so sad.
Are you serious?
No. Anyways, sometimes being emotional can lead to clouded judgment or fights. Fighting, it won't solve anything. It's a communication barrier. Even though the person you may be arguing with is arguing over the exact same topic you are, it's still a barrier because it's disagreeing with one another.
Being judgmental with clouded eyes is very bad. You shouldn't judge someone when you don't really know them at all.
Besides, the communication is not mutual because you may judge someone differently than how that person judges themselves.
Self-confidence is also very, very important when it comes to this barrier. Having a good, pure confidence can lead to a great discussion or motive. You can deliver things clearly. As folks say, confidence is key.
The next barrier is language. Different language being spoken won't get much done, especially if one person can't understand both of the languages. If one person is speaking English and the other person is speaking French, then there might be a problem. A tip on how to deal with this is technology. If you can use Siri or translating app or at least use a translator dictionary, it'll really help you out when you're discussing with someone of a different language.
Oui, oui.
See.
Two other barriers include gender and cultural communication barriers. These can relate to each other. Cultural differences cause conflict sometimes and hideous communication. Nowadays we seem to be offended by everything, so this barrier can be controversial along with genders because the times are changing.
Boys and girls think differently. Girls experience and think different things, and boys experience and think different things. Because of that, sometimes there can be a wall dividing the discussion.
Cultural barriers are similar because there are different religions, environment, values, etc. Everyone is entitled to have different opinions. The solution to overcoming the wall is to not build it. Stop a problem before it occurs and be open-minded and kind if a problem does form, which ties back to you being a good leader and having good communication skills.
Our last communication barrier is the interpersonal barrier. Now this means that the communication and the relationship is interfered between people.
That could be family, friends, or even strangers. Interpersonal communication barriers are the worst. It can be very, very bad because it can lead to having a rocky relationship. Lies, bullying, hurting, stealing, etc. Having a barrier also causes damage to your self-esteem because it may leave you lonely and very sad.
Now these are all the different types and examples of communication barriers. Now we have one more thing to ask. How do we break the barrier? How do we improve? I think we need to talk things out and respect each other's opinions.
Respect is a huge thing to consider. It's so important and it builds up a relationship to be strong.
Definitely. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell if you want to know when we got more content. See you next time.